for Black America, it's just another year. You knew the disrespect by your elected puppeteers, but let me show you how to persevere. Cause get up every time somebody knock you down and celebrate in front of
YouTube was good. If you're wondering who we listening to, we got Paak right now. This is Reachin' Too Much with Lalah Hathaway.
No, we just talked about it, so it's funny that it came back around.
Yeah. We got Simona White and her sisters on. Shout out Kima, shout out Ellie. Of course, we're asking the important question: can women really have it all? We gonna have fun with this. And then y'all know today like a celebration, low key. We celebrating at the Nitty Gritty show, so I gotta play some of my favorite music. Oh, y'all can groove if y'all wanna groove it. The song is groovy. I mean, don't act like you can't move the innocent Paak. I'm just saying, like, you know? I hit him with the nigga roughing real quick, you know what I'm saying? You know when he jumped for the Temptations, he was like, yeah, y'all see me. You see me. Alright, oh. Maybe, what's up? We got Clarksville to the key in the building. Hold on, I gotta hear this little labor part real quick. Reaching too much. Okay. Oh, I just gave you this. Alright. Cat's like, come on, Mom, let's start. Alright. I was really thinking about tonight, like after I leave here going to Crystal. And like, you know, just, alright.
Going to Crystals?
I'm for real about that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get my skating on real quick. Alright, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, David Costa.
It is your girl, Cat.
And together we are the Nitty Gritty. Look, we got some special ladies on the show tonight. We got Simona, y'all know her, she a TNGS regular. Y'all seen her on the soapbox doing her thing. Matter of fact, the most recent soapbox was Simona. So yeah, check that out if you haven't checked it out.
It's fun.
And then we have her sisters on the show with us. We have Kima and Ellie.
Hey.
Yeah. So you know, this should be a nice little spicy conversation. We got some DC natives.
Spicy.
You know what I'm saying? I love when I got my DC native sisters in the building. This is gonna be good. Yeah. So we want y'all to tell it like it is. Don't hold no bars. You know what I'm saying? Like just
say less.
Yeah.
We got on IG.
IG live. If you on IG, shout yourself out. I know I see Brent in the live.
Shout your city.
Shout your city. I see Brent out there. Herman, I see you. Thank you for all the happy early birthday wishes. I appreciate it.
All right.
Let's hit up some current news real quick. So we always do a little current news before we get started. You know, get everybody loose. Unfortunate news. Prince Marquis D, founder member of the Fat Boys. Y'all know he passed away this week. So I was sad to hear that. I remember like Crush Groove and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I was a big fan of the Fat Boys back in the day when I was a kid. Also, United Airlines, they had an engine explode in midair.
I saw that.
Wow.
It was crazy. On that flight. That's what they said.
You're going to be real close to Jesus when it was all done. You know what I'm saying?
He looked at his wife and was like, are we going to die? Can you imagine like literally looking out your window and the engine is on fire? It was crazy.
The other thing was the piece of the plane fell off.
Right in front of these
houses.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
That's crazy.
All right, we see Bowie on the map.
Hey, Maya.
Yeah, Maya, I see you in the building.
All right, and then 6ix9ine.
Yeah, so that was crazy. And then 6ix9ine, of course, y'all know he got out of jail, what is it, like a year ago being a rat? And now he out here trolling again. He ran up on Meek Mill with his security and did shouting Pooh Shiesty lines. And then recently he ran up on another rapper.
He wears lace fronts.
He wears lace fronts?
Admittedly.
So all that hair, that's not even him?
No, he has hair, but those ponytails,
That ain't real.
Oh,
he admits it. That's all you need to say about him. He went to jail snitching, and he wears lace fronts.
And he wears lace fronts. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right, so that's
I don't have to worry about color damage.
That's very true.
Let's get down, y'all, so we can get these topics going, because I know I want to hear from y'all ladies about what you guys think.
Oh, Katrina ready for the smoke. She about to get people stirred up. She's trying to trigger some people today. All right, so let's get down to it. Of course, we're about to get down to the nitty gritty. So let's just get down, right? Can women really have it all?
Yeah, why can't we?
Okay.
She said
she already said.
It's like my face.
We had to ask
Kima said, why can't she?
Yes.
Ellie, how about you? Can women really have it all? Can y'all have it all?
My thing is, if a man can do it, I can do it, and possibly even better.
Okay. Simona, can women really have it
She
all?
gonna talk loud too, so everybody can hear you.
We literally, men go to wars for us. So, no.
You said no.
Of course we can.
Okay.
We can have
Okay.
anything. The
All
world
right.
revolves around what we want.
My answer is
Okay.
yes, women can have it all. The caveat is that depending upon the season you're in, you might have to put something on the back burner because your seasons do dictate and change your priorities.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Okay. That's because
All
women
right.
care, you know. Men have a focus and they get into that. That's it. So I can see that caveat. Like, you know, you have kids and you love your kids, so certain things take back burner to that.
Okay. Okay.
But when you have your kids and stuff, you still can have it all. You just gotta prioritize, like you were saying. So
Okay.
why can't we? Because men do it, so why can't we? I'm just.
So do men really get to have it all?
No, that's the smoke screen.
Oh.
Men can't have it all.
No, they can't because behind every good man is what?
A good woman.
And men come from a woman, so
That
you
was
are
really
taught and
involved.
raised by a woman. So how can you do that?
Oh yeah, this gonna get real spicy. Oh yeah. Listen, y'all just gotta love me afterwards. I'm gonna be frank. So we got Maya saying yes, period, with the T. With the T. Okay.
Let me read Facebook while you read that.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, she said period with the T.
With
Okay. Alright. So okay, so we give a lot of resounding women can have it all. Katrina, can women have it all?
Like I said, I think yes, you just have to make sure you prioritize depending upon your season of your goals. Because let's say you're pursuing school, you might be focused on accomplishing that goal. Therefore, you might have to get somebody in your village to take care of your kids. Your husband may not get no nookie like that because you focused on school. So I think it depends upon your goals and which your priority level is at that current moment. So the answer is yes. But I don't think you can have it all at one time always. It has to be different seasons, different goals. Things have to shift, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, when we say have it all, you guys define it somewhat, but if we can just break that down, what does having it all look like, right? Because we know if we were to go off what we see on social media, what we see on media, you know, there's a lot of talk about, relationships. I heard kind of like, I think there was an allusion to, or alluding to career, education. So, what does having it all look like? Because some people might hear it all, and they might be like, yeah, so what does that mean? What do you mean when you say have it all? So what does having it all look like?
So what I like, one of the things Katrina said, she said having goals. So
Okay.
all is going to encompass goals.
Okay.
So you can have it all, meaning you can have all of your goals.
Got it.
If you are reaching for that all that you see on social media, that you may see on TV, that you may see, just what you think you see when you see people in regular walking life. And if you reach for that, you're probably never really going to be happy because somebody else's all isn't going to be your all. So I think that is important to define like what's all for you. And you can have it because you're going to say, this is the goal I'm hitting right now. Boom, I got that goal, so you got it. Next goal, boom, I hit that goal and I got it. So you have it all.
I like that defining. Any other comments on that? Having it all, like what does having it all actually look like? Because some people really want to know. Because I see women on the side say, I want to have it all, and then men are like, what does that really mean? And I know that varies from person to person, but I'm just curious.
Men are like all, meaning they want to stay at home and spend our money and make their money.
Oh, that's
that's what men be thinking when we say we want it all. We want yours and ours too.
But when y'all say
I definitely think men have a problem with women thinking they can have it all. I do think that a lot of men are like, okay, do you want to be a career woman or do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? I feel like men want you to pick.
Right.
No, but
It depends on what kind of man you have too. So when I think of all, I think of peace.
Ooh.
I think of stability.
Okay.
I think of security. I think of a foundation. I think of goals because goals are always evolving.
Mm-hmm.
I just think of surviving. So all to me is not just financial sustainability, it's in all aspects of life. So when you just back to your point about you can have it all at different points in your life, you're having it all at every moment of life because all doesn't, so that's what I mean, it's levels of all.
Mm-hmm.
So all is not just all at one time. It's like when a baby is born, they spoon feed, they crawl, and they get in different stages of development. That's what all is.
All right, so you're talking about building your
You
all.
build.
I like that. And then
I'm on
Ellie.
the opposite end of the spectrum. Yes, you build to the all. Yes, you could obtain pieces of all, have it all at the same time, but you can lose it all too. So I have this, I have the fame, I have the career, I have that. And you have people, and I think of those athletes, those people who made it, and then they lose it all. So yeah, you had it, but you didn't obtain it, or you didn't have the wisdom and knowledge or the things that go with it to maintain it. So to you, you knew that you had it all. Us from the outside looking in, you ain't got nothing.
But did they really have it all? They didn't have it all.
Exactly.
So that's the smoke screen to me. So people think that they have it all, but you really don't have all. The real meaning of all is a personal, I guess, definition. But I think people have, like you said, is it the Hollywood perspective or is it a tangible perspective? Because if you're focused on financial sustainability, that's not really all. Because all goes away. Like she said, you can have all or nothing. What do you really want? What is all to you? Is it peace? Is it finances? Is it a combination of it? Is it family? Is it career? What is it?
I like that. We have someone also on the IG. So I got a couple ladies commenting right there. So Maya, she said a healthy relationship with God, your partner, finances in order, or working on a plan to get it together, having goals and working to accomplish them. I like that.
Yeah.
Let me just move your stuff now. There we go. And then let me see. We had having healthy boundaries and communication with your peers and partners. Okay.
Boundaries. You know,
I guess one question I want to dig into a little bit more then, right? Because I think you guys gave some, hearing you define your all, I think that's reasonable. But so why is it that, when we see the girls like Tweety saying, if he don't give you a Birkin, drop him, right? I mean, and then you see some of the ladies, shout out Kevin Samuels, you see some of the ladies that come on his show, they start defining what their all is. Now, I think what you guys said was realistic, because I heard a lot of building to, I heard a lot of defining what all is for you, but there are all these general definitions of all that some people really do subscribe to, right? It's like, I gotta have the man who's, not just have a man, not just companionship, he need to be 6 foot or taller, he need to make 6 figures or better, he gotta have a 6-pack, you know what I'm saying? Like all the sixes, right? And then, right, so there's all of that. Then on top of that, it's like, and I got a vacation. I remember growing up, when we used to vacation, we used to just come up here to DC to see our cousins. You know what I'm saying? Because we military brats.
Right.
So we just enjoyed coming to DC for the summer, be with family. And there wasn't even no guarantee we was going to go to Six Flags when we was here. We was just happy to be on 11th Street. You feel me? And that was vacation. We was for
Adventure World.
yeah, Adventure World. Yeah, right.
Herman says your all has to be yours and not the all dictated by others. You would never win in the game of life if your all has to be validated by others. Come on, Herman.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, shout out to Herman, shout out to my pops.
So, in your all, to Juan's point, are you looking for your man to encompass all? I mean, because I know a lot of women who he gotta be tall, he gotta have it hanging, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He gotta have money. He gotta be God fearing. He can't be no cheater. He can't be no liar. He gotta be smart, savvy. I mean, everything. He gotta not be balding. I mean, literally, can you find that in one person?
So let me just tell you about God. Everything is possible through God. So I know I'm about to take it to a whole nother level.
No,
Take it where you want to take it.
So
right here for you.
Yeah, because you mentioned some real key factors, like with the man. So that's another issue with women too. No shade to women, because I am a woman and I love being a woman. But women need to really find out what they really want and what they really need. So if you have a man that has a good 6'6", if he has a good size. Can I say it? Okay. So he has You have PG-13 now. Okay, I have PG-13. So
there are no kids here.
Okay. If you have a man, you're worried about a man with a big penis, or you're worried about a man's bank account, or you're worried about a man's height and all his accolades. But what do you bring to the table? So what can you contribute to the table? And how can you request something from somebody that you don't even have?
Hello.
So to me, I think it's foolish and unwise for people to do that. So you can have a man though that does all the things that you want, but you gotta step your all up.
I like that.
Okay, and then I think a thing that people don't consider, I'll shout out Kevin Samuels again, because he puts us on his content. I like to give credit to where the content creators get their stuff from, right?
Hold on, is that guy, the mean guy?
That's what they call him, the meme guy.
I like him too, actually.
Yeah, but he be spitting some facts. But I will say this, something that you'll see even on his platform when people are talking is, you know, like you got to consider, well, what does a man, if they have all those sixes, what do they require out of a woman? What are they looking for,
That's
right?
what she was alluding to.
Exactly, right? Because, you know, like women, for the women out there that want it all, it's like, okay, when you start considering the companionship of all, it's like, well, you know, I know as someone who's hunted and fished before, that the same thing I go get catfish with, I can't go get bass with, right?
Yeah.
So I have to use different lures, right? Because they're going to be attracted to different things. So if you're trying to lure love and friendship, you might want to find that brother in the church somewhere or working actively towards something in life. But he may not have 6 figures. He might be short. He might be what y'all call short, 5'9". That's technically not even short. That's actually average. But y'all would call that short.
5'11".
But would you?
No, that's not average.
But how important is physical attributes to you now versus when you were younger? For me, when I was younger, I used to really be into, he gotta be fine. Like I wanted him to be chiseled because I was an athlete. I wanted an athlete. Now that I'm older and wiser, I'm more focused on the character of a man versus the physical. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I want it all. So no, I'm gonna say when I say I want it all is because you. So you have to be. I have to be able to look at you because we have to go to bed with each other. So I have to be able to look at you. Okay, that's the first thing. And sometimes, you know, they might not have the physical aspect as far as like the body figure that you want when you see them, but they might have a beautiful face and you might can see the goal. And when you have the right people together, all things are possible. Because you can be at the gym, you promote him, he goes to the gym, you go to the gym, you can eat right, he eats right. Everything works together if you're having the same energy.
But what do you say to the situations? 'Cause I like what you're saying. Like I get it. If you're a Christian, you're a true believer. You should believe that all things are powerful through Christ, right? But even with that, I think what happens if you don't get the Build-A-Bear you have, you never do build them to be in that bear, right? So I'm just saying, like, so no, because like if the average man in America makes $51,000, right? So you looking at him like, yeah, you know, this is a good start. But that's average. That means that's where it taps off. Like, there's not going to be more than that. Maybe it's a little bit higher in the DC area because, you know, we're a little spoiled with all the opportunities.
No, because
so
that's expensive.
Yeah, but let's bump it up to say 65, 75 average for this area, right? Even if that's the case, maybe we shouldn't go into it saying like, man, can he get more? And I say the same thing to men. It's like, okay, you met your girl at one size. Don't be like, well, she cute. Man, maybe she lost a little bit of weight. She'd be just right. Because if women hear a man say that, automatically gonna be triggered, right? They're like, what you mean you gotta lose weight? You don't like me the way I am? So
but
why
it's
would
for health things too, for health components, because weight is a contributing factor for a lot of health diseases for everyone.
And that's true. So then you have to understand, like, that's when I think investigating, is that woman or is that man, you know, if we're generalizing it, are they even concerned about health? Because some people just gain weight because you go through traumatic times, you're just in a rut, so you've gained weight, but you understand generally the need to be healthy. But there are some people I know of, they'll join like a fitness group, and they'll leave the person they with because they're like, well, they're still eating McDonald's. But the person you met at the time was eating McDonald's. So it's like, and you were eating McDonald's at the same time too. It's like, you see this in couples where they were both not going to church. Then one starts going to church, right? And now that's not good enough for them because one is in church, one is unsaved. But it's kind of like you met them unsaved, they met you unsaved. So I get it, now you figure this part out. So now are you unhappy? Do you keep it moving? Because you want to have it all? Or
I just think you bring up a good point. If we're talking about strictly women and a relationship capacity, we shouldn't go into these things trying to change people. Especially when you get older, folks get set in their ways. You ain't changing nobody that's been doing the same thing. I'm going to say minimum 30 years. I know I'm not. Like, I might well be doing something else or go another route. But if we're talking about more so career or things like that, you have to be able to change and adapt and do other things, especially if you want to be successful. You can't do the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. It's not how it works.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
And if you meet somebody, like a female, she meets a man, or a man meets a female, and you start talking, you're dating, you know, they game, you get to know, oh, well, you know, you probably can do this, and we can help build you in this way. But you have to build a bond. What is it called? Build a bear instead of build a bear.
build a bear. Build a bond, build a bear,
You should
build a
actually
bond.
build a bear or build a bear because if you see these traits, and like she's saying, you don't stop at this is it, this is where you want to stop at. Don't cap out here, go to this. You have other skill sets that are transferable. So why are you settling? So all to me is, I mean, you can have it all. I'm a living
You
proof
know,
of all.
everybody's always different.
Right, that's why I said you got
Yeah.
what is your
Because
all?
your all might be pretty reasonable, like within reach of all. And then some people may hear that and think all is this thing. So we talked a little bit about relationships. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back up again.
Of course it
Yeah,
is.
it's definitely going to come
Nobody
back up
wants to be
again.
alone.
Yeah, but then, so when we talk about, women having it all, right? So then we start talking about career. So like, put a man aside, right? Something I hear a lot of professional women deal with in this area. And I've seen the comments online and everything, so then it becomes concerning. So when you start talking about having it all, can you really have that bomb career and then have a semblance of like, what they call work-life balance and whatever that is for you? Can you really get sleep at night? Can you really be in the gym? I know some young ladies, like I said, man aside, they're just trying to keep their weight a certain kind of way. But because they also like Louis bags and their option to buy Chanel and the option to buy whatever it is that they're into, go on their little girl trips and all of that, can you really move all the way up in the career, have peace where you're not fighting at work, right? And then still come home and really lay your hair down. And especially like, since I'm in a room with black women, right? We know corporate America oftentimes don't want you guys to wear your natural hair. They don't want you to be authentically who you are. But if you're going to have it all, right? Should you, make, some type of, I can mitigate things here or I can mitigate things there to have it all. Because once you mitigate something, you've given up part of the all. And I think the reason why I wanted to have this conversation is because I want people to consider, maybe not change your mind, but consider there's going to be some kind of concession along the way for different things we want.
I gotta go back to what she said to that point. It's different stages.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you have to build on everything. So all is not all at one time. It's 3 letters. So you have to build. Everything has stages. So you can have it all, because I'm a career woman and I'm in the corporate world, and the work-life balance is totally challenging now because we're in the COVID-19 atmosphere, and it just seems like the computer, the emails never stop, and they never stop, and it's boom, 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 and I still have to cook and take care of the family, and it's really hard. It's challenging now in these times because of the circumstances. So to me, all right now is peace. Because regardless of my bank account and the purses and the shoes and the clothes I wear, if my mental stability isn't straight, I can't manage anything.
Now, does your husband, does he expect you to cook? Is that like a part of your agreement? Because everybody's different.
Yeah, that's funny. So
because some women do deal with that. Some women are like, they have to deal with that. Just in general, you'll see some men like, you got to cook me a meal.
Yeah.
So then, and I know some women, especially during COVID, and some men are like, I don't really deal with the kids.
Yeah, so
Right?
things change.
But in COVID, it's like, can you really? I don't know.
Not there with the kids at home. Sir.
Yeah, but things change though. So like when we first were dating, or when, things just change because people's roles change and responsibilities change. So of course he expects me to cook, but I think we had a conversation not too long ago. You expect me to cook and do this and that, but I still gotta go to work. So your expectations are false, because if I have to go to work and I still have to make these dollars, then I need to have some different expectations with you too. So no, he has to cook too. He has to wash clothes. He does everything that I do. He does. Matter of fact, he washes better than me. Matter of fact, he washes clothes more. I don't even do laundry no more. So we so in order to make a healthy relationship, for us to be able to have all, we have to share responsibilities. Everything is equally shared, and that makes us love each other better. We have a great union. I mean, it's not self-absorbed.
But I like that you bring that up though, right? Because some people feel like we really have some imbalanced like expectations in society, right? I've seen these conversations where women expect the man to do this and do that, but then they don't want to contribute a significant amount of money towards bills. It's like, I want to make my money and have my money, because this is my hair money, my nails money. This is, me and my girls going to brunch money,
going with this.
right? But then it's like, I wasn't really planning on using my money to help pay half the light bill or pay half the mortgage.
So the question.
When I was younger, though, I was foolish like that. So when I was younger, I was about pimping and giving coins to people, and I was stacking my own
I
paper.
appreciate the honesty.
So I was stacking my own paper, and you use them to do what you got to do with, and you keep your own money so you can build and keep building your own money, because you know, like you're saying, you don't have all that you want in the first man that you talk to. He can be talking just like, oh my God, he's speaking French or some language I don't understand. But what can I get from out of him? Like, what is he here for?
Oh wow.
So he's serving a purpose. And just like he's serving a purpose for me, I'm serving a purpose for him.
So
Okay.
I'm like devil's advocate. Men make more than women. We still have not closed that wage gap just yet.
No, they
So if y'all gonna get paid more, you might as well balance it off by paying a little bit more on the bills. That's just my.
I think and then I
Y'all
gotta
got to
get
up
back.
a little bit only because the.
Oh,
The
sorry.
caveat,
I
I'm
said
sorry.
men because the wage gap is still not balanced. Men should, to me, if you make more than your partner, come out more. That's simple math right there. Come on, y'all.
Okay. Okay.
They all make more than their partners. So
Yeah.
the men that don't make more than their partners,
But some partners
they might
make
feel
more.
like they're not supposed to, but no, it's a caveat because he's still a man. So it's certain things that he still has to do because he is a man, and you never want to chastise or make a man feel less than a man.
Like
And
a
then
like
we get into
emasculate him.
You
gender.
don't ever want to
And
emasculate.
then we get into like gender roles and stuff, and that's like a
whole nother
deeper
topic.
level conversation.
But the
in
main-
which you're all.
The main question is, should a man use his salary to provide and the woman have the ability to save? Or if you are living in 2020 in this area, if you're working, should you be expected to contribute to your household? Because there are some women who feel
Absolutely.
that they should not have to contribute
And you know,
financially.
for those women, and that's part of their all, they find that man that doesn't care that they don't.
They do. They do.
They're out there. There are a lot of men out there that you're like, hey, this is the bill I want to pay. And they're like, whatever.
You know what? That you're right, Simona. There are a lot of men who are like, I want to provide and take care of you. I want you to have the option to work or not.
Right.
There are a lot of men like that. But I also find that women who stay at home, what happens is they want a Louis bag. They want these trips, and the man can't provide that lifestyle, so they get frustrated, but they don't want to work.
You know what happened there? That was a misguided goal. So they
I
wanted
like
the
that.
all of staying home, but they didn't find a partner that could actually provide their all version
Yes.
of staying home.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You just have to work with what you have.
Be realistic.
And so you do have to be realistic when my man Kevin Samuels. You gotta be realistic, okay? So if you can't pull that guy that's making those 6+ figures, you know,
Improvise, sis.
that can do that, where you can stay home and he can buy you those Louis bags or whatever anytime, you don't care. You know, okay, maybe he can't do that, but I can stay at home. I can take $20, $40 a week and then just put it aside. I can say, because you're doing the grocery shopping, let me not buy this specialty brand and buy these little brands, take these little things, pinch off until maybe once a year I can get that special bag that I want. Or this is the age of social media. Maybe I'm not going to Nordstrom. Maybe I'm not going to Saks. Maybe I'm not going to Neiman Marcus. Maybe I'm going to eBay. Maybe I'm going to a consignment shop. Maybe I'm going on Poshmark because Poshmark works and that stuff. is
Okay. Or maybe you doing a knockoff.
Or
Maybe
maybe
you doing a knockoff.
or maybe you doing a knockoff, sis.
Maybe you doing a knockoff bag.
Look, I like that. I got some comments from our Facebook audience. Oh, shout out IG, shout out Soba, listen, I see you, homie. Oh, shout out Miriam P. Oh, and shout out Mama Jen, I see you. So anyways, Cleveland in the building. So and then we got some more of the DMV in the building. Shout out Facebook. So Christopher McKinney, shout out to McKinney's. Shout out to your baby shower yesterday. Congrats, Mama. I guess at this point you like
She's 9 months today.
she's 9 months today, so that means she like basically any day, right?
Oh,
Right? Is that how it works?
She got a whole month left.
She got a whole month. You know what I'm saying? If it happened tomorrow, not a bad thing. That's what I'm saying. So anyways, Chris said it's up to the couple, right? Chris also said, you know, like whatever works for them. Lana, his wife, shout out to McKinney's, right? She said staying at home is a job. You receive income. It's not from an institution. She said a bag is a bonus. That's what she said.
Come on, Lana. Come on. A bag is a bonus, not an expectation.
But she's a real woman. See, real women have real expectations.
I like that. I like that. And then Chris
She
said,
highlighted
if you're
it's a job also.
She
And
did.
it is a
And you
job.
was paid for
24/7.
that. Somebody can come in and do that job and you would pay them.
Because my thing is, if you gotta be up at night with a baby right here on your breast, you tired. You don't have it in you to really go out and work like that.
You know, these services are like $160 and up a month for a
Who you
house.
selling?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And then another point that Chris made, he said, if your goal is just to be taken care of, that's an issue.
No, it's not.
And then Lana said, thank you, any day, no clue of the gender. All right.
I
There's some more on that. We gotta pause on that, though.
We
And
gonna
make sure
stay
you speak
there.
loud for everybody
We're
to
gonna
hear
stay
you.
there for a
If
minute
you
too.
want to be taken care
of, it's nothing wrong with that.
I think they call them trophy wives.
I
Yeah,
think that's the term. Some men want trophy wives.
that's true.
With that job comes certain roles and certain expectations.
And what are they, ma'am? Tell us.
I don't know. I'm not one.
What do you
I'm
think-
just saying.
what do you think they are?
What do you think these girls are saying?
I know a trophy wife. I know
Okay.
quite a few.
Well, I
of them.
think you just gotta be pretty. You support.
Keep it in
them.
shape, keep it right,
You
keep it
gotta
tight.
keep it in
They
shape.
show guts around
She
here
was
for a
like,
trophy
the girl
wife.
had
That's
a
right.
baby, and when she got pregnant, she got fatter. You know, of course you gain weight because you're pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And her husband was like, "Ugh, you're getting fatter, you got this weight, you got fatter, you got fatter." And he just was real nagging, real nasty. You know, she's pregnant, she has all these hormones. But he said when she dropped that baby, she got to drop 20 pounds. And that was part of his, like, that was their business plan. That was their agreement. That's what they signed up
And
for.
she looks good.
And
That
she
was
looked
her
good.
job.
That was her job. And he,
Yeah.
I mean, and that was their
Did he get
expectation.
her like a trainer or something to help her?
Yeah, she anything that she wants, she got
Okay,
a job
I
and
agree.
resources.
So
If your job is, I guess my thing is, and granted, I do know that with a lot of these situations, I don't know, but what I heard, looking good, you know, that's part of, like, an easy part of it, right? But a lot of those men are a-holes.
Yes.
They say what they want.
They're
They're
controlling.
controlling. And if you have any kind of opinion, or you're not supposed to think.
you're not.
You're supposed to just stand here, be cute,
Yes.
and do what I tell you to do. Now, for a lot of black women, it don't really work out right for us because we opinionated.
But it's working because I know these black women
Oh.
that are these trophy wives.
And you know,
Oh,
sometimes
And they
you
live
It's
these
literally
lavish
the
lives. Their husbands are 7-figure husbands, okay? And or some are 6-figure husbands, and they're in the higher end of 6
Yeah, we're
figures.
talking about 600,
And-
700, 800.
Yes, I'm not
yeah.
talking yes. And their home, they're making they're securing the bag too because they're having children, okay? They have people that come home, they cook. They don't cook. These women don't cook.
They just
They
manage
have-
house resources.
They are the supervisor. They are the manager.
They're
They're
the office
they're the
manager,
office.
office administrator.
So do they like, do you think that these women like
No, they're miserable.
Really?
Some of them are
think they're
some of them are miserable. It's
I
a
don't
smoke
think all of
screen.
them are
So I'm gonna say it's not all of them. It's a smoke screen. It depends. They have to have outlets because everybody's not miserable. You have to find your middle ground of what's your piece. But there are a lot of hidden things, those claws that go behind in those relationships.
And I got to throw this in here, right? So that way people can understand, like, rationalize what that means. And you guys brought up some really good points because the only 10% of men make over 6 figures. So we're talking about $100,000 mark, right? So anything over that, that's exponential. That's exceptional, right? That's not typically what you find. Even here in DC, you would assume most of the guys are, but then when you start really looking around, it's like 75, 85, still really great according to the rest of the nation. But then this area is really expensive. You can't get a
You
one-bedroom
can
apartment for
find a man with a good
less than $14,000.
salary in DC.
You know?
Absolutely.
Outside of, I would say if your goal as a wife or as a woman is to find a man making a decent living, this is a great area.
Right.
Now, if you live in Alabama, sis, I don't know what man you're trying to find
So,
making 6 figures.
but even with that, right? DC, and you guys all know this because you're from the area. I'm from DC. But you guys know, living here, we know that we're in a bubble of education success. Most people have at least a bachelor's degree, right? Matter of fact, they look at bachelor's degrees like high school diplomas around this joint.
Right.
Then, on top of that, all the big jobs in law, all the big jobs in government, selling to the federal government, working for the federal government, they're right here. You can't find GS9 jobs typically throughout Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. But GS9 is like, that's entry level in this area, right? So you're getting your best and brightest. This is one of the cities they're attracted to outside of like in LA, New York, Miami, maybe Chicago, or Atlanta these days, right? So, or Houston. Houston's coming up, it's on the rise. So out of a few select cities, DC is like one of the top ones of all of them, as far as what they bring and the talent they have. And even if it is just 6 figures or high, 5 figures, there's a certain kind of personality, even with that little bit of money, that comes into place, right? Because these are the dudes that, when they were at Alabama State University, they was at Austin Peay, they was at Ohio Wesleyan, or whatever school they went to, they came here, they was big stuff on a stick there. So they're going to have a certain kind of attitude about them, about their work here. And if you want that kind of individual next to you, you're dealing with a certain kind of attitude. And if you're going to be that person's housewife, they're going to work you. And that's why I'm not jealous. Listen, Lana made a good point. She says she's a housewife, and it's no joke. And she's also going to school right now. And people don't realize it is hard work. And I think they get this misconception watching Housewives and all this love and whatever.
That's just reality.
Yeah,
It's not real, it's a smoke screen
Yeah.
because right now I'm living the housewife thing. And I work, we have children, But I'm not a housewife where you just sit at home and that's my only job, to just take care of the children. I have to work. I have to make my money and take care of our family. I don't have a nanny coming in because it's COVID. We can afford a nanny, but I'm not getting a nanny because of COVID. It's too risky. It's a risk factor.
Yeah.
So it's being a housewife. I would never want to do this.
Yeah.
Ever.
And then those men, they're gonna look at you like dependents.
And
Yes.
And then so when you're a dependent, you're not talking about you being an equal or a partner or somebody. You built this.
But not all
think
people
it's
are
part
like
of the
that. Because
job.
some people,
Not all.
some husbands, because I've seen these two, they're really good to their wives.
Yeah.
They're really good to their wives because these wives are home and they're managing. Being home is a full time. What I do on my job is milk parents and what I do at home. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to work any day to be at home. I can't stand it. I love it. Yes, it's beautiful. COVID-19, thank you. But let me tell you, I love going to the office. It's like a vacation. Because working at home is nonstop. You gotta cook, you gotta clean, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Kids on virtual learning, you gotta. It's just a lot.
And even after all of that, let's be honest, fellas, y'all still trying to roll her over at
you
night.
still gotta provide for your
And they want you to perform too.
Yes, but what I want to know
It's like,
do we think that
Let's address
social
it.
media is the contributing factor as to the reasons why women want more?
Yes,
more?
absolutely.
Because think about it, when our parents were raised getting, when our parents were our age, they were okay with a small little house. They were okay with a family living in an apartment. They were okay with sharing a car. Nowadays, it's, I gotta have his or her car. For weddings, the expectation is red bottoms. For weddings, the expectation is we gotta have money to throw up. We gotta have, like, when you go on trips, you gotta buy new clothes. Back in the day, you could have whatever you had. So do we think that social media or the society has now increased the expectation of what you're supposed to have in America?
Absolutely.
That's like
That's a
double
legitimate
edged
factor.
though, because our parents weren't really happy. If we get down to it,
I think my parents.
some of them were. Let's not say all. Some of them were, but then you also have those parents that bought stuff because they couldn't get stuff, right?
Okay.
That was pre-social media, right? Because they said, "Oh, we couldn't have this," so that began what they call it, keeping up with the Joneses, right?
That's what they call
And
it.
who were your Joneses? Your next door neighbor. There was no IG then. They
yeah,
were
before the
just looking-
Generation X.
They were just watching the people that had it. So some of our parents weren't happy with, okay, this is just what we had. They just made the best of it because that's what they're supposed to do when you're raising a family. They said, but they still wanted that extra. So you had that. So you're like, your parents are telling you, reach for more, reach for more, reach for more. And then now you actually have an idea of what more is. Because your parent can tell you to reach for more, but they don't know what more is. I didn't know what a Bugatti
But now the
was.
internet
till
has
I
made the
saw
world
it.
small.
Yeah, I didn't know what Bugatti was either.
I was like, oh, that was like going on.
I didn't know who Tom Ford was until Jay-Z shot
But
it.
social media, though,
And that helped it.
hyping it though. Social media does hype it.
I think it was
Uh-huh.
double edged too.
Because everybody on social media is fly. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody balling.
And they know
Every relationship is good. Every
Everybody
kid is
balling.
good.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I be wondering, like, how do I know I make more than these people? But then every other weekend, they be in Miami, big Louis bag, Chanel, Birkin. I'm like,
Nobody
what are you doing?
Nobody posts the full picture. That 24-hour cycle, you get a quick snapshot. Yeah, you're in Miami, but you're right in a one bedroom with 7 other people. Yeah, you got the Bugatti, but it's rented. Yeah, you got the bag, but you
Or
got
it's
the
just
tag.
parked there. and you
Right,
can't
or it's
go
just
out.
parked there. The car is you,
Yeah.
or who was that? Soulja Boy or somebody who had rented the house.
Oh
Rented
yeah.
your damn house. So, like I said, they give you the version. Like she said, they play up this fake version and post it to everybody to make you think it's okay. But I do agree with Mona. It is a double-edged sword. Our parents had their version pre-social media. We have our version now. But my thing is stay in your lane. And like just to go back to the women conversation, you need to know who you are. Define your limits. Don't even look at what the man doing. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you can afford. Because even if you compare it to relationships, y'all can break up. Y'all can divorce. Can you stand on your own 2 feet and still be able to say this is my all with or without him?
Yes.
Yes.
Come on.
Period.
I like that.
Period. With or without him. Not if he dropped in. Let me not just say the example. If he left today, you don't ask him for alimony, would you be alright? Y'all had kids, can you still support your kids? Would you be alright? And the
Can you do it by yourself
comfortably
with the same lifestyle?
with the same lifestyle? Maybe you take it down a couple notches, but can you really do it by yourself? That's me.
That's a good question. Let me read some comments too. Chris said, if you want to be a trophy wife, then expect to be traded in at some point. I mean, there's a new version coming out every June. It's coming straight out of Howard.
serious.
package.
You're not gonna treat. You're not
He said, I'm
gonna.
smiling them out.
She said severance package. Severance package.
You're going to consider your severance package. You're not going to treat like
Trey, you have to
people
take
on
it
Wall
for the
Street. They're not going to treat
contract.
their job like a person that works like I do. Like I would cut hair. We're two different jobs. I'm going to be able to cut hair for life. My hands will always have
Real
this
skill set.
Whereas in Wall Street, they know, like what they said, somebody's going to be trying to get me out. So if you
one
know,
firm is hot 1 week, the next
thing
week,
you're not hot. So if you're the trophy wife and you already know if you're a trophy wife, it's your job. You know this. So you know when I hit a certain age, chances are he might want a younger model.
Yeah.
Now he may either pay me off to leave.
Stack
After
it
my
with
time,
something.
I'm going to have my correct severance
Wow.
package, and I will leave happily with the properties that I picked. Or you're gonna turn the blind eye, and he's gonna be
Like Wendy Williams did. Oh, but she was making the money.
No, that's what she
I
had.
was gonna say, that's
She
what
had
I'm
money before him.
Yeah, you know, she was making the money, and then she stayed there until he had a baby.
Okay, but look
Watch
at
it
Dr.
like
Dre
that.
at Strange Way.
Okay.
So she was with him through all that stuff. And I don't think she had money before. She wasn't established before. Chick, why you wait to the end? Didn't take no rainy day pot. I would have had my little separate whatever I'm doing. Remember she was trying to find out if he had extra kids.
Yeah.
How you leave the house for only to a bare minimum? I'm taking everything.
Honestly,
my name
I
on.
think there's a lot more to that
Everything.
we don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at what I saw on the trade.
I just know she wanted $2 million a
And
month.
so when I saw that, I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Why did she ask for $2 million a month, right? Then I looked at the expenses she was asking for. The things that she was asking for were things that she was already getting, right? And
But $100,000 for your phone
the
bill?
way that he got out of it,
phone bill?
who knows?
What kind of
We
phone
don't know.
is that?
Maybe she's buying a different
Yeah, what
phone.
kind of phone do you have for $100,000?
Who knows? We don't know. We're not in there. We're not in there.
That's above our pay grade.
But who are you calling?
Wait,
Like,
these are things that she's getting already, right? What screwed her, why she didn't get it, was because she changed everything and still wanted him to pay for it. So I think that there's more to that than we would probably know. And I think he probably was one of those guys that was controlling everything, because how would you be with somebody of that status and not have your little rainy day set away? Probably because he might have been blocking her. She might have been trying to put her little rainy day, and he was like, "Oh, what you
But
doing?"
she didn't plan right. She didn't plan right. She
But
didn't plan.
maybe she didn't. Maybe, but you know, when they got together, they were young. She wasn't. I'm gonna be.
But she was with
wife.
it for
We
too
was
many
broke.
years. But she was with it for too many
She
years.
knew
Not
how
that
it
plan.
was.
She knew how he was.
but I mean,
She knew how he
so
was.
and I think, but that goes into like, why plan for having a rainy day fund when you should just plan for
Forever.
always and forever?
What do you mean? This is
Am I right? Oh, I have a
Trophies get put on the account.
Look at your account. I got rainy day funds left and right. I even have money in my house.
First of all,
I don't understand a rainy day fund. You talking about a rainy day fund from marriage?
First of all, you need a check to get your lipo and keep it tight and right. You need a check for that.
Right. But what she said was she compared marriage to a career. So it's
Yeah.
like her job
You
is
kept
to
looking for that. That's what
And this is specific for the trophy wife.
You're
It's
supposed to
certain-
have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever.
Unless you're marrying for love and you don't care that
Which
he
is
makes
absolutely
$30,000.
But you know,
Emotions.
now I'm not trying to be rude or whatever, but I do think that to even be considered a trophy wife, there's a certain attraction that men are looking for.
My man said that. He said you were 5.
And I do think with today's social media, everybody, I'm big and beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. But the reality is, not all women are going to be considered a trophy wife.
Right.
You have to kind of know where
you are.
you at.
Because Marjorie Harvey, if you go by looks, she's a certain exception that certain types of men, especially if you gotta think about it. If you're the kind of man, you could buy a Bugatti, you have a house in Miami, a house in LA, and then you got a cribs. You get what I'm saying? You're used to the finest things of life. So then when you start looking at women, I'm like, all right, I get it. Lizzo, you have a beautiful personality.
Don't talk about my man.
But I'm just saying. But I get it. You're not looking at Lizzo's beautiful personality. It's like, hey, I get it. You're a sweetheart and all that. But you see what my car look like, smooth and all of that. I need my woman to match
Your
that.
bank account smooth, I know that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he's
But
worried
she's
about that.
not
He's
getting.
worried
But
about
the man
that.
that's looking for a woman like that,
That's
like,
why Lori Harvey is with Michael B. Jordan.
now.
Because of, let's be honest, the way she looks. I don't think of Michael B. Jordan. I mean, I could be wrong. I think I'm a cute girl, but I don't think that he or any of those celebrities are going to be looking for a regular black woman.
Chris said,
They
"Pay
want
your
them to be
stress."
ethnically ambiguous.
And then first
Yeah,
of
and then
all,
you have
they
somebody
have to
don't
be in a
have
certain status.
your mind.
You're not
So-
going to get to him. She's to him because she's Lori Harvey.
But there's so many girls who I hear, they're like, I'm waiting for my husband. I'm trying to get me a celebrity. And I get it. That's a full-time job, all-star weekend. But, not trying to be rude, but you gotta know kind of where you're at. Everybody can't be a 10.
Some of them know where
Everybody
they
can't be
they
a
trying
ten.
to be the baby mama with the check. She get 30 grand a month too.
Who?
Baby mamas be getting
Who get 30
money.
grand a month?
Baby
A lot of baby mamas to
true.
wealthy men get yearly salaries.
Yeah.
Well, a proven stat is 69% of custodial parents, their primary source of income is child support. Now, so we see that with the big celebrities, but think about it, even everyday women, right? Because the average woman in America, she makes around, average working woman in America is making around $22,000 a year, right? So even though they're making that, a lot of them are still depending on child support as their main source of income. That's scary.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so
So you win an all-star weekend, you get your best, you like Drake said, you up there running on the treadmill eating salads, you trying to like look good for that one night, get him real tipsy. Look, I'm trying to get him to impregnate me so that I can
And
make a
okay.
living. And that's what the hustle
That's
is.
a hustle.
That's a hustle.
And she had, in her version of all, she has it all.
Right,
I hate
her
to say
version,
that,
right.
but that's her version of all, and she don't mind it.
Yeah.
Look at what's 50 Cent first baby mama. She ain't never worked.
Yeah.
When did she work?
well, he said, "Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire."
He was
That's what he
he
said.
was advertising this.
He was
The
advertising.
only girl I can think of, the only woman I can think of who not only is gorgeous and extremely talented, and she really could have had any guy in the game, and she chose Jay-Z. But to me, Beyonce is like, I mean, all the industry dudes wanted Beyonce, not because she was the talented one, but because they thought she was beautiful as well. And she, you know, she stuck it out with Jay-Z. In reality, I mean, looks-wise, she could have picked somebody else.
Girl,
So I gotta ask this question too.
Yeah.
Because we're actually
drama, yeah.
we're actually getting low to time. We got about 13 minutes left. So I know the time go by fast. Like, what do we know? But so I gotta ask this question too, though. I gotta get to this one before we leave. So you know they talk about women having it all. We talk about women having it all, but then so in this, after all we said, how independent really are women, right? Because there's all these songs like Miss Independent.
First of all, let me tell you something, and you can attribute it because you live with a man. Y'all can't find nothing without us. So if you want to talk about money, we're not independent. Y'all not independent either. Babe, where's my wallet? Babe, what I do with my keys? Babe, have you seen my
I'll let you make that comment for me.
Have you, what is this?
I'll let you answer that one for me, though.
We're all dependent in one way or
I
another.
think men and women are dependent on one another for sure. There are definitely roles that men have and women have. I'll give an example. It was freezing.
Because I can
yesterday.
find everything.
And Juan was like, "Do you want me to carry those bags?" I said, "Absolutely. Go forth, sir, and carry those bags." All that independent stuff that people talking about, Cat don't want no part. You want to shovel the snow for me? You can go forth, sir. Oh, there's a spider to be killed, sir. You got it. You know what I'm saying? All that, I'm independent. I can do it. I'm not trying to put on no construction hat and be out in the hot heat working. Oh no. I want to have some semblance of a gender role. My hands are delicate. Sir, I don't think I can lift that box. Juan, I need help.
And I think so. And the reason why I bring this up, right? I'm gonna touch some nerves and some roots real quick. So you know, because they talk about independence, and then the thing is okay, we understand. I think men understand that. Look, we need women, and I think we understand the value of women. But I think more and more today, women don't value men. And when they make sometimes even when they make the independent comment. So like, consider this, right? Before your man got with you, if he was living on his own, he found them keys somehow, right?
That's because there was no furniture and stuff. He had like a couch.
Oh,
and stuff. No, I'm playing.
Yeah,
I'm playing.
We don't play all brothers.
We like stuff. When you have a woman in the house, there's definitely a lot of
He had a house, but not a home. Yes.
And then the other thing when you start thinking about dependence, right? It's in a world that has been constructed and built up, sure, you could be dependent. But I think what we don't consider is like when things break down. Look at COVID, when everything kicked off with toilet paper, right? A lot of single women was like, man, it'd be nice to have a man right now. When things get crazy, right? If government breaks down, police are no longer working. You don't have social structure, then it's kind of like, well, man, these men seem real valuable these days, right? Because when you need a protector, because let's be honest, men, some of them will start to act like savages. They're not going to date you. Now that there's no social construct, they're not going to date you to get some booty. They're going to take it. And they're stronger, right? So men ward that off. Having a man around you can help ward off these evil men. Because there's some evil men out there, let's just be honest, right? But there's some men that are naturally protectors, naturally providers. And sometimes, like for instance, there was a, Kevin Samuels did it, he referenced the show, but I've seen the show before. It was called Bear Grylls. And they had like a society of women and a society of men. And I remember watching it, I'm like, man, these women, they're not figuring it out. They were going to try to take water. They took they had dumped sewage into their fresh water and almost killed like half of their water supply. And if it wasn't for the producers of the show getting involved and helping them, they was about to kill themselves. These are certain things, and I think what happens with men is not, I'm not saying that or suggesting that every man knows how to survive in the wild, but the difference would be is even white collar men don't look down on blue collar men. We're not going to say to the mechanic, and we're not going to say to the firefighter or the soldier, we look down on you. We value the fact that, yo, you're doing something that I didn't sign up to do or I don't want to do. But somehow, especially within the educated class of women, and it's dangerous within black women, if I can be honest, and I love sisters. And my record speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? But especially across black women, there's a lack of respect for the working class blue collar guy. And let's be honest, those blue collar guys make more than the white collar guys. White collar dude might have a good job at one of these contracting companies making 85. Meanwhile, I know plenty of people working at Daymar and other utility companies here making great money. We got a family member that bought a great house and he had a blue collar job the whole time. You get what I'm saying? And we walk over those men.
I didn't.
And then we say we're independent.
But I did before. So when I was younger, when I was younger, I had a misconception of the kind of man that I should have. But I ended up marrying the man that I did not want. Because the man that I did not want was the man that I should have been with. And he's a blue collar kind of dude. And he brings it to the table. So the financial, everything that a man is supposed to do, he has. Everything that a man is supposed to do or that you want. And the needs, you don't even know the needs. Some of the needs that I didn't know at once, he's been bringing it to me. I'm like, damn, thank you, God. Thank you, God. But what I was about to say to the point of, you need this relationship, this all thing for both parties, everybody has to come with their own stuff. So I'm independent with my own needs. You made a valid point, like my hand's delicate. I do not want to shovel snow. I do not want to carry grocery bags. I don't want to do any of that stuff. Honey, can you get that? Can you get that? All of that. Right? That's his role. That's his job. And that's cool. He's independent. He has his independence. I have my independence. But we come together and we become one person. But we're two people seeking to become one. And we need that independence. You want people to be independent. I don't want you to be a robot. I need you to come with your own mind, your own thoughts, your own stuff, because it's going to make us work. It's going to be boring.
I don't know.
And I think defining what that independence look like, because there's some people that say independent, because white women kind of created the feminist movement, right? And then sisters kind of jumped on it afterwards.
Yeah,
but let's be honest, that was made for them, and they were like, let's fight the patriarchy. And then black women got involved, and some of them got delusional. Not all. Some got delusional, like, yeah, we don't need men at all, man. Look all these men. That's what they say, right?
They did get delusional.
There are some like that.
I want to read a few comments. So Lana says, also Rican low-key is a job. I had a blast last time. Chris said, too much coordination of any relationship won't work. Chris said, side note, B wouldn't be B without J. Lana, we aren't independent per se. We are multifaceted. Men don't use throw pillows, haha. And then her last comment, she said, you need a companion, men and women. Hyper-independence is a trauma response when people don't come through for you. And it is. You shouldn't want to do everything. Because I do know some women, women are equal. We can be out here and we can do it all. We are strong. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be freezing in the cold.
That's a deep-rooted issue.
Girl, you can be strong by yourself.
Could have come from childhood issues.
Yeah.
Or being a single, whatever the reason, where you just have to, as women, you got to just get the shit done, bottom line. And you don't have time to depend on people. If you got kids, you ain't got time to wait for a man to help feed your kids. Your baby's hungry today. You need a job, you got to go out and do it. You need your grocery from your car to your house,
you make that couple trips out of it yourself. You're not gonna sit there and wait for nobody to do it. And that's the beauty of women. We go out and get the job done. We not, well, I don't know about the trophy women y'all was talking about. People like me, regular women, you need something done, you do it. I got a friend of mine now. She know how to do her hammer, her drill. She putting stuff up. She makes stuff happen. I'm like, damn, girl, I need to be like you.
She making it happen.
She's making it happen. Me, like how you mentioned about, like for me, I thank God, like my husband, he knows how to do that drill and hammer. I don't have to worry about that. But I always had the attitude, okay, something break down, let me at least try to fix it. Now I at least go to him for guidance. Because I still got an independent spirit in me. But I'm going to get it done. Period.
But I think this is good dialogue, because I do feel like y'all brought some realism, and I think we try to, the Nitty Gritty Show, at least match with like the real table conversations that we're having, especially in our community, and try to at least find a way to put some of that out there to go against just some of the rampant feelings that are being nurtured unrealistically by like reality TV, things of that nature, right? So I enjoy talking. We're like basically out of time. It's like 4 minutes left. We don't want to go too much over. Time went by really fast, so we gotta have y'all back again. I don't know when we can have y'all all back again, but we want to have you all back again like soon.
One last comment. Lana says, her sister says, I am not a silverback gorilla. Why do I need to be that strong? I don't know.
That's hilarious.
She's right. Them women be strong. Oh, man.
Women are strong. We're strong here.
We are strong, but there are some women who
We're strong
think,
here too.
there are some women who think they are a man, and it's like, sis, I need you to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not. We can't. I'm not about to sit here and lift no car or whatever you're trying to do. No.
Don't replace a man. Support a man.
Yes.
Build a
Yeah.
man.
I like that.
I like that. Look, I'm gonna do some. Let me do some quick shout outs and some birthday shout outs. Once again, thank y'all for being here. I had a good time. Yeah, we gotta have y'all back. Kima, Ellie, Simona, and actually, probably when I have time tonight, I need to get all y'all like my soapbox.
Okay.
We'll talk more about that once we cut it
At
out.
least do a 1 or 2.
We'll see, 'cause I'm about to reset up and everything. We'll figure it out. Let me play this real cut. So I made a birthday cut because like we shout out birthdays all the time on the Nitty Gritty Show, and Paul Thompson was on. And he was pleasant enough to do like a happy birthday that we cut, and now we use it every Sunday for happy birthday. So I'm gonna play it real quick from Paul. Oh, you know what, Paul? Can you listen real quick? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Man, do that and many more. You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out Paul. Paul did that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going through it, baby. You should talk about time clock. I'm going to get there. I'm like, that's what I'm doing.
I was asking. I wasn't telling you. I was just asking.
All right, yeah, baby. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting
He has a
there, like,
beautiful
you know?
voice.
No. Paul gets down, and so we appreciated him coming on the show and doing that for us. I'm like, yeah, Paul did his thing. So anyways, shout out. So we got some happy birthdays. Shout out to Nyla DaCosta. That's my baby girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, her birthday's on the 24th. Shout out to Sonia Robertson. Her birthday was yesterday. Shout out to Harrison Crump. Also, shout out to my man Devin Anton. I don't know if y'all follow Mr. Waffle Man here in the area, comedian. His skits are hilarious. Him, Stickum Johnson, that whole crew. Hilarious. Yeah. Go check them out. They're hilarious. Shout out to my cousin Tamika Cox. Shout out Sharonda Dawson. Her birthday's tomorrow. Shout out to Yolette Edwards. Shout out to Winston DeCosta. And shout out to the homie Rashida Hairston. Her birthday's also on the 24th. Like Nala. Gotta do my birthday shout outs. I think while I'm closing out too, I'm gonna play some Musiq Soulchild, some Realove. This is a favorite song of mine off his album, off his Juslisen album. Well, I don't know. I'm using that playing. It ain't trying to act right today, so I may not be able to play. All right, we'll just play some Chocolate by Kia instead. But anyways, once again, we want to thank you guys for coming out. Make sure we gotta pay some bills. Shout out to Lachelle Lashes.
Yes.
Yeah, like
I'm wearing Lachelle lashes now.
yeah, like shout out Lachelle Lashes. Also,
My cousin is the owner.
if you want to support the Nitty Gritty Show, you know where to find us. We're on Facebook, we're on IG at the Nitty Gritty Show. Also, we post content to YouTube. The Nitty Gritty Show. And then also get some merch. You can go to www.squadlocker.com and then you can search. You gotta type the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. The Nitty Gritty Show. Get some merch. We got products in association with you. Under Armour, Adidas, Realove, you name it. So hey, buy yourself some merch, support the Nitty Gritty Show. Once again, we appreciate all three of you lovely ladies coming on to the show. We had a good time. Oh yeah, this is my jam too. I like this little jam section too. Yeah, it's a good look. Oh, and I had one last birthday shout out. Shout out to myself. My birthday's tomorrow.
Yes.
I should put my cash app out there. That's what everybody doing these days, right?
Happy birthday, honey.
Right.
Because they be talking about donating to a charity. I'm like, nah, donate.